Right now, as you're listening to this voice, a quiet struggle is unfolding inside your head. Your jaw muscles might be relaxing slightly, and you might feel a faint tickle at the back of your throat. Just mentioning this process can trigger an avalanche in your nervous system. Your brain is getting ready to obey an external command. It wants to make you yawn. It seems like a harmless little quirk, a sign of boredom, or an admission that you didn't get enough sleep. But behind this familiar reaction hides a disturbing truth. Your body is following an external command without your consent. Our brains are being hacked from a distance, and we can't stop it. To understand how this biological code works, we'll have to look inside your skull and find a built-in radiator there. We'll figure out why contagious yawning is the simplest test for hidden psychopathy. And we'll travel millions of years back to our wild ancestors who used this spasm as a security alarm. If you already felt your jaw tighten, hit that like button. Let's see how fast our shared network works. And we're moving on to the first level of this mystery. But before we break down the mechanics of this glitch, think about this. A human fetus starts yawning long before birth, while floating in liquid where it's physically impossible to take a breath. This paradox completely shatters everything you were taught in school. You were probably taught that yawning is a way to get more oxygen into your lungs. The idea is that your body is tired, your blood has stagnated, and your exhausted brain needs an emergency refill. That sounds logical, but it's absolutely false. In 1987, American psychologist Robert Provine decided to test this hypothesis experimentally. He locked a group of volunteers in a lab and started manipulating the air composition. Some breathed pure oxygen. Others were secretly exposed to gas mixtures with high carbon dioxide levels, simulating the unbearable stuffiness of a sealed room. According to the old logic, the second group should have been yawning non-stop. But the sensors recorded something strange. The yawning frequency in both groups was exactly the same. Your lungs have nothing to do with this process. There's an even stronger piece of evidence that doctors regularly see on ultrasound screens. A human fetus begins to yawn clearly at the 11th week of development in the womb. At that moment, it's floating in warm amniotic fluid. Its lungs aren't working, they're tightly compressed and filled with fluid. All oxygen reaches the baby directly through the mother's blood via the umbilical cord veins. The little one physically cannot breathe air, yet its tiny jaw stubbornly opens in a deep, rhythmic spasm. Yawning has nothing to do with ventilating your lungs. Your body triggers this complex motor act for entirely different reasons. When you're sitting in a stuffy office, your head heats up, your eyelids feel heavy as lead, and inside your skull, a process starts that follows the laws of pure thermodynamics. Your brain is trying to save itself from a temperature collapse. Your brain is an incredibly hungry, hot supercomputer. It only makes up 2% of your total body weight, but it hogs a fifth of all the energy you produce. With that much processing packed in, it's constantly heating up. Let its temperature rise just a third of a degree above normal, and your cognitive abilities take a nosedive. Neural connections slow down, you start getting foggy. To prevent a complete thermal meltdown, nature equipped your head with a complex climate control system. Evolutionary biologist Andrew Gallup proved that yawning is an emergency heat dump, your body's radiator grill in action. When you take a deep, long inhale through a wide-open mouth, cool air rushes over the mucous membranes in your nasal cavity and sinuses. The blood in those tiny capillaries cools down instantly and shoots straight into the overheated parts of your brain. But one breath isn't enough to cool things off. The system needs a heavy-duty pump. That's where your jaw comes in. The big chewing muscles stretch to their absolute limit. That extreme tension literally squeezes stagnant venous blood out of the deep vessels in your skull, making room for fresh, newly cooled blood to flow in. It's pure hydraulics. At the peak of that stretch, you check out of reality for a second. Your eyelids reflexively clamp shut, squeezing your tear ducts and pushing moisture out. But the weirdest thing happens inside your ears. During a yawn, a tiny muscle called the tensor tympani, the one that tenses your eardrum, contracts all the way. Your eardrums pull tight to the max. A deep, low rumble echoes inside your skull, and for about 2 seconds you almost go completely deaf. You're trapped in a brief sensory blackout. The outside world disappears. You're left alone with your stretched jaw and a cold draft under your skull. But if yawning is such an intimate process of physiological cooling, why does your brain make you obediently copy it from other people? Contagious yawning isn't just some psychological quirk. It's the work of an ancient wireless network hardwired into your mirror neurons. Your brain is constantly scanning the faces around you for hidden threats or important changes in the environment. And a yawn is one of the loudest signals in that internal system. To grasp its true power, we need to jump back in time 200,000 years. Picture your distant ancestors. A small group of hominids is settling down for the night on the edge of the wild African savanna. Dusk is falling.
Around the camp, in the tall grass, large predators prowl, the kind that see humans as easy nighttime prey. One of the hunters on watch starts to get tired. His attention dulls. His overheating brain slows down his reactions, lulling him into a daze. He lets out a deep yawn to forcibly cool his system and refocus. But in the wild, one-man security doesn't cut it. If one lookout falls asleep, the whole tribe dies. In that same instant, his neighbor by the fire spots the yawn. His mirror neurons in the premotor cortex instantly recognize the pattern of an open mouth. They trigger a matching motor response in his own body. The signal passes down the chain. Within a minute, the whole group is yawning. This isn't a sign of collective laziness. It's a simultaneous system reboot of the group's safety protocol. The whole pack is cooling its brain in sync, shaking off drowsiness and cranking up alertness as darkness closes in. Contagious yawning works like a silent burglar alarm. Stay sharp, we're on watch. Evolution considered this survival mechanism so critical that it completely took the reins away from your conscious mind. You simply have no choice. Your prefrontal cortex is powerless against the impulse coming from the ancient brainstem. That's why you can't physically fight it off with sheer willpower. Your body gives you away, broadcasting loud and clear that you're still plugged into humanity's shared neural information cable. But that cable doesn't reach everyone. How easily you catch someone else's yawn is a direct reflection of your brain's wiring. It's a biological marker of your innate capacity for empathy and social attunement. If your mirror neurons are working correctly, you're vulnerable to this evolutionary virus. But there are some unsettling exceptions to this rule. In 2015, researchers at Baylor University decided to test this connection under pressure. They gathered a group of students and ran a detailed psychological assessment to uncover hidden psychopathic traits: emotional coldness, egocentrism, callousness, and a tendency toward manipulation. Then they set the participants in a dark, isolated room, attached ultra-sensitive muscle contraction sensors to their faces, and started showing them videos of people yawning. The results were brutal. Subjects who scored high on the psychopathy scale barely reacted to other people's yawns.
Their faces stayed frozen like masks. Their brains completely ignored the social rhythm because the regions responsible for empathy were essentially locked down by nature. The internal state of another person means absolutely nothing to them. If someone you know never yawns back when you let out a deep, jaw-cracking yawn, you might be dealing with a person whose empathy switch is turned off. But don't jump to conclusions just yet. Our brain's mirror system develops gradually. Young children under the age of 4 are completely immune to contagious yawning. Their nervous system hasn't yet learned to fully read and project other people's emotional and physiological states onto themselves. They pick up this skill as they grow older. But this invisible bridge works remarkably well between completely different species. If you look at your pet dog and let out a big, noisy, exaggerated yawn, there's a good chance it will open its mouth in response, but only if it genuinely trusts you. Dogs almost never catch a yawn from strangers. Their brains filter out unfamiliar noise. They sync up only with those they consider true members of their pack. It's pure chemistry of attachment, driven by the hormone oxytocin. We physically share our state with the people we care about. But what happens when social rules demand we break that wireless connection? Every single one of us has been stuck in that awkward situation at least once. A crucial meeting in a stuffy office, a serious face-to-face conversation, or utter silence in a lecture hall. Your brain is overheating, sensors are maxed out, and your jaw starts slowly, inexorably pulling apart. Social norms of politeness demand restraint, and you make the fateful decision. You will suppress this urge at all costs. You press your lips together as hard as you can. Your teeth grind against each other. What's actually happening inside your face in that moment? Physiology takes over, no matter how tightly you've locked your jaw. Your diaphragm still drops, trying to pull in air, creating excess pressure in your nasal cavity. The hot air has nowhere to go. It rushes into your eustachian tubes, sealing your ears shut from the inside. Your brain gets no cooling, and the tension in your jaw muscles builds. A spasm squeezes your tear ducts, and big, involuntary tears start rolling down your cheeks. Your nose gets stuffy. Your face puffs up, turns red, and takes on an expression of pure agony. By trying to hide a natural split-second yawn, you've turned yourself into a crying, gasping mess with a weird, terrifying grimace. It looks way worse than just opening your mouth. Your own body harshly punishes you for trying to override its basic system settings. Faking this gesture on purpose works just as poorly. A fake yawn always looks unnatural. Your mirror neurons instantly recognize the deception. When you try to force a yawn, your brain doesn't release the cascade of dopamine and oxytocin. Your eardrums don't flex, and your eyes stay completely dry. People around you pick up on that phoniness at a deep subconscious level. Next time that irresistible spasm hits you, don't try to fight your body. Your system is just cooling down an overheated processor before you do something stupid. Let it do its job. Just cover your mouth with your hand. It's not just good manners. It's a nod to your medieval ancestors who believed it kept your soul safe from wandering demons. Let your internal radiator run full blast. Right now, as this video winds down, your brain has probably relaxed. Your jaw is finally ready to do what it's been holding back for the last few minutes. Don't fight it. Take that deep breath. Feel the coolness flooding your head and the deep hum building in your ears. Your biological ping went through successfully. Our shared tribe is connected.